Telling your story comes in many different ways. When we think about telling our story, we think that we have to, hey, everybody, my name is Matt, and I'm from Southern California, and now I'm just moving into Phoenix. Like, we tell this version, a timeline version, but we forget the most important moments of our story, how we felt, how we moved through it. And we begin to be afraid of telling our story because we're managing other people's insecurities. What are they going to think? What are they going to say? What are they going to do because of my story? We never give our story the proper attention and love that it deserves.
Hey you, welcome to Build the Damn Thing, a place where myself, Tiffany Largy, and our amazing Do the Damn Thing coaches show you how to use your story to build it all. Whether it's your first six figures, your next layer of multiple six figures, or maybe you're on your way to a milli. And if it's not that, it's the life of your dreams, where you are free, you are strong, and you are whole. First, we're going to show you how to use your story to build a strong foundation. And then next, we're going to show you how to use your story in sales and marketing to clean up the cracks. And last but not least, we're going to show you how to use your story to gather people. Because the truth of the matter is that there's nothing stronger than being connected to people who just understand you as you are, where you are, so you can stop explaining yourself. I want to remind you that now that you're here, you are home, and I officially welcome you to our family. All right, let's get started.
So here's the thing. We don't always give our stories the proper attention that it needs. Like, we're afraid to tell our story because we're afraid to, what are people going to think? Am I going to be looking like the crazy one? And let me tell you, as somebody who has asked that question a lot, I am the crazy one. Let me just put that out there right now, first and foremost. Welcome to another episode of Build the Damn Thing. This is a really special episode because it was completely unplanned. The entire studio, we're here inside of the Do the Damn Thing studio. I have some amazing guests that are here. One of our clients is who you have probably heard on some of our other podcasts or other things that we do. If you have followed Do the Damn Thing, you have seen her in some of our programs. You've seen some of her videos, and she's in studio this week. Not only just she's done her season 1 of podcasts, but she has come in and done something that doesn't get done very often. She has knocked out 2 seasons of podcasts in 1 week. Literally in 2 days, she got an entire season 2 and season 3 done, all in one day. And now today, she's in studio because she has been recording her very first audio book. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And so I want to welcome the one and only Kathleen Panning to the podcast. How are you, Kathleen?
Oh, awesome, Matt. It's great to be here, and it's been a wonderful day.
I'm telling you, I'm so proud of you because of not necessarily what you've accomplished, but how you have moved through this process of, learning more about you, acknowledging the content and the knowledge and the experience that you have, but most importantly, tapping into your love and the love that God expresses through you. It has been a true pleasure and honor to watch you, Kathleen.
Thank you so much. It's been a privilege to be here, and it's helped me dig through all of the stories and episodes in my life and bring them out, hopefully in a way that are going to be helpful to other people.
Let me ask you, what was it about telling your story and about doing a podcast that you were like, okay, I need to, this is what I really need to do?
Well, since I've been doing radio for 5.5 years, but most of that, I've been interviewing other people. So I haven't been sharing a lot of me, except in bits and pieces when I interview other people. And so it's time.
Yes.
It's time for me to share more of who I am and what I've done, and a lot of the possibilities that hopefully can be, I believe, of help to other people.
I love that. Yes. And Kathleen and I were sitting here. She just recorded her chapters 1 through 9 of her book. And we have, 3 more tomorrow? Mm-hmm. 3 more tomorrow. And then her audiobook is done, complete. And as we were sitting here masterminding and mapping out the next couple chapters, we saw somebody outside of our door, and they were kind of like peeking in, like, hello, What's going on? And so I was like, come on in. And so joining us right now is this amazing and beautiful human that I literally have not even known for an hour yet. And I'm already madly in love with her. Just her heart and her spirit. And let me tell you what it was. So this young lady was outside of our door. And as she was there looking in, she says, I just want to see what's going on in here. And I was like, of course, come on in. We're a production company, and gave a little bit of who we are. And she began to share pieces of her story. Now, I asked her, she's like, oh, I've done some amazing things. And the first thing that came out of my mind was, tell me what you've done, or what do you do? And then I changed that for a minute, because a lot of times we think that our value, our credit, or who we are is based on what we do versus just who we be. Who we are as a human, not necessarily what we can produce. If you've heard my story before, you've heard me talk about how my value was based on what I could do. I was always the yes guy. I was always the person that would let me do this for you. And when people would say thank you, or when people would say, man, I couldn't have done this without you, or done some other type of acknowledgement in there, that is what gave me my value. That's where I felt like I was important then, versus just valuing my own truth, my own story. And so when I asked that question, I immediately caught myself, because I realized that it's not based on our stories, and our value is not based on what we do, but it's on who we be. And so I asked you, tell me a little bit about you. And so I want to welcome into the Do the Damn Thing studios, the one and only Judy Drake.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for stopping in and for being curious and asking questions. Notice a couple things. Teachable moment here. What did she do? She asked questions. She was willing to go through and to knock on a door and be like, hey guys, I want to know what's happening over there. Hey guys, what do you do? Who are you guys? And she was inquisitive enough to go through and to almost like till the soil a little bit, of going through and saying, and maybe that's because the Arizona thing that I'm using to till the soil, and it's desert and there's a lot of dirt out here. But she began to ask questions. Mm-hmm. And it was the question when I asked you, who are you? So Jody, I'm going to ask you again. Tell me a little bit about, who is Jody Drake?
Jody Drake was born and raised in Prescott, Arizona. I had 11 uncles, which made me a very tough human being. I have had people in my life say, did you go to finishing school? And I go, no, I went to survival school. I came from an extremely rough and tumble cowboy family, and where you either got tough and stood tall, or you got left behind. And I love Arizona with every fiber of my being. And at 69 years old, I'm constantly like, I looked up and I saw, just do the damn thing. And that's what I realized in this point in my life. I just need to do the damn thing.
Yes.
Be bold, reach out, inquire, be involved, try to meet new people, gather new experiences. And I'm extremely proud of my life. I was the curator of education at the Charlotte Hall Museum in Prescott for several years. I had some very strong convictions, which got me fired. And totally admit that was my mouth. And would I do it again? Absolutely. I portrayed Charlotte Mayberth Hall, Arizona's first territorial historian, for 20 years for the state of Arizona Humanities Council.
Wow.
I am an Arizona culture keeper and a Seroptimus Woman of Distinction. I've been nominated for the Governor's Arts Award 8 times. And I look back on my life and I'm so proud of everything I've got to see, but I'm so hungry to see more and do more and share more like you. I want my life to show other people that maybe you didn't go to college, or maybe you didn't have all the advantages in life, but you can still have the dreams and go after them.
Definitely.
And I always wanted to be a poet, but for so many years of my life, I told myself, you can't do that. But then I wrote this one poem that I realized I can do that.
Come on.
There's this highway going out of Prescott, Arizona called Highway 69. And so I wrote this little poem. Is it okay if I do it now?
Yeah, go for it. So I want you guys to know this is actually the same poem that you did out there, right?
Actually, it's a different
one. Okay, got it. So give me just a second, because I want you to, I want to go back to the poem that you did for us.
I wrote that poem. It was called Living in the Parking Lot of Walmart. And I wrote that for my daughter, because when she was 14 years old, she got arrested for picketing Walmart. And a lot of people were really intensely mean to her. So I wrote that poem trying to let her know I understood her feelings and what was going on. And that's the same thing about Highway 69. It was a way to express how I felt, what was going on in my world, and how everything that was familiar to me was going away. Like my cousin, I grew up in a place called Childs, Arizona, Verde Hot Springs. It's gone. It's no longer there.
Wow.
I spent the first 6 years of my life in a place called Drake, Arizona, that was a flagstone quarry. It's gone. It's been destroyed. So you go through life and you see all of these really wonderful memories you have, and you want to let the generations below you be proud of those memories, because it's what makes us all great Arizona people. And it doesn't mean that we were born here or whatever. I was, but one of my favorite things is I wasn't born in Arizona, but I got here as soon as I could. And, it's like we have an incredible, wonderful state.
Yeah.
But
I'll tell you, I'll still call myself a newbie here. I'm only 1 year in. And I caught myself, I do a lot of traveling for work, and I had felt myself at the airport one day. I was like, oh man, I can't wait to get home. And then I was like, oh, I just called it home. Like, it was the first time that it felt right. Like, not just me saying it, but it actually felt right. Like, I can't wait to get home. And then I was telling somebody else the other day, like, how do you like Phoenix? And I was like, you know what? I love Phoenix. Like, I'm really enjoying it. It feels like home. It feels like I've been part of this for a while. And this is where I'm supposed to be. And I'm very clear on that, because I come from San Diego. I'm a beach person. I grew up
went
by
to
the
college
beach
in San Diego.
Yes, I love it.
USIU, School for the Performing Arts. Yeah.
And so being out here where there's really no water, there's that Tempe thing. I still don't understand what that is, but that's a whole other story.
It's a pretend lake.
Yeah, it's literally a puddle. They like put some rocks and stopped water, and they're like, oh, okay, go kayak. Yep. But there is the Salt River. I did that this summer, and that was my water, and I enjoyed.
Have you been to Prescott?
Not yet.
Oh, dude,
Is
you're
that where I
robbing
need
yourself.
Is that
May 20th? There's an incredible music festival up there.
May 20th? Oh.
May 20th. Pure Imagination. Really a great lineup of artists. I won't go into commercial for them, but I'm looking forward to
May
it.
20th. I love that. And I've really like it really truly is starting to be home, and there is something special about Arizona in general, but I think Phoenix in here, and being Native American, I feel like I'm connecting to my roots. My grandmother was born in Bisbee, and so I am excited because we have the address, and so I want to go visit Bisbee. And it was as you were talking out here in the office, you were talking about your poetry. You were talking about sharing your story, and you shared a poem with us that I would like for you to share again for the podcast, because it was so powerful, and you could hear your story and your pieces. So here's the thing that I want you to remember. When you're telling your story is not just the timeline version. the thing that makes people remember your story the most is how you make them feel. Maya Angelou has the quote. People remember how you made them feel, not what you did. And I may have paraphrased that, but your poem hit the essence of feelings. And although our stories sometimes are very different, the experience is different. It's the emotion of the story that people connect to. And so as you're telling your story, whether you're telling your story in your business, whether you're telling your story because you're developing a relationship with somebody, as you're telling your story within your family, well, whoever it may be, you will always leave a bigger impact when you tell the emotions and the feelings of the story. And so with that, Jody, if you would tell me, I would love for you to share that poem.
Thank you. I wrote this poem for my daughter, a beautiful, incredible, powerful woman that got arrested when she was 14 years old for picketing Walmart. And I wanted to let her know I understood. And so I wrote this poem. Living in the parking lot of Walmart, life has gone so wrong. Sitting here in a busted up old RV doing dishes and singing a country song. I look out the door in civilization, they don't give a damn about me. I'm just another broke down American pretending to be free. So you keep saving money so you can have a better life, and you don't have to worry about catching sight of me or my wife. Because we've reached our 3-day limit and we'll be moving along, never for a moment thinking you'd like the tone of our song. So know where your bread is buttered and what the cost will be, because when the cost is too goddamn high, you're no longer free.
Let that sit.
I actually have another one that even is more poignant to me because it says a lot about how I feel about how Arizona has grown. And there's a highway leading out of Prescott called Highway 69. And for 15 years, I always worked at a pumpkin festival called Young's Farm. So every year in September, I would load up my 57 Chevy truck and head out to Young's Farm. And this poem came with how I felt about the evolution of the country that I lived in. I'm headed out Highway 69, and I looked out the mirror, and there behind was a line of fancy cars stretching back for miles. I thought to myself, what's holding them up? Couldn't possibly be this old pickup truck, but just in case I should shift to fourth. Well, I looked out the window, and to my surprise, there was a woman with hate in her eyes, and I was pretty sure she was looking at me. She moved to the country to slow down, but not today because she was headed out of town, and I was most definitely in her way. Well, I got to the turn at Cherry Road and figured it'd be a pretty good time to check my load. And you ain't never gonna believe what I saw next. There was that woman with hate in her eyes, only this time it was she that was just surprised because she was broke down, and I stopped to see if I could help. So if you need a moral, this one's plain to see. If you're headed out Highway 69 in a hurry, you better pray to God you don't up behind that old Chevy truck and me.
I love that. Let me ask you, what is it that inspires you when you write? And then Kathleen, the same question for you. So for those of you guys that don't know, Kathleen is a retired minister, and she is in a role where she is the pastor's pastor. She's out there teaching others, women, especially women leaders in faith-based ministry, how to own their voice. and she is has so many powerful stories. I want to ask both of you guys, like, what inspires you? What inspires you? Kathleen, we're going to go with you first.
What inspires me? A lot of times it's nature, seeing God's creation and the way that everything that God created fits together. Every piece has a place. And that's true for us as human beings and for our world too. But we don't always acknowledge that, and we don't always honor that either. So that's one thing. And the other thing is people, when we share in love and caring for one another. So God's care for creation, our care for each other. Two powerful ways that I'm inspired. And by God's grace.
Yes.
Through all of it.
Yes. Jody.
I think my poetry comes from a need to express how I feel about the things that are occurring in my world. And I've always felt like poetry was the language of the heart, and it's pure and it comes absolutely out of the heart. So it's true and honest. And I think I need that to make reason of my world, to try to understand. I come from an interesting religious background. My dad was a Mormon and my mother was a Catholic. So I check the food storage and make the sign of the cross. And so I totally believe in God and all that stuff, but I have an inner need to find God within myself and fulfill the gifts he's given me, to be true to what he's done for me, and always extremely humble and know that nothing I've ever was given was just not mine. It was just this parting little piece of something I got to hold on to for a while. But I don't know. Poetry is how I think. Storytelling and my life has been so rich in experiences, and so it's like it seems like a shame not to tell people about it.
When you think about ways of, so I'm not gonna put anybody on blast, but I overheard that people have been waiting for you to tell your story more, and to speak up more, and to show up more, and to be more, and to do more, because they know all of everything that's inside of you. And so it's not by accident that you are here in this moment. No idea that on this date, in this place, that you were going to be on a podcast with some random people called Do the Damn Thing. And it was your story and the conviction that I felt that I have a platform. I have a human who has an amazing story that needs to be told. And let me provide the opportunity for it to happen. This is a setup. It's a setup. It's a setup that we didn't know. Only God, universe, and it knows. But one, you have to be willing. If you're taking notes on this, I want you to write this down. I have to be willing. Am I willing? Kathleen Canning just was talking to her in her audiobook. She's going to be doing a chapter tomorrow about being willing.
Yep. Most definitely. If you're not willing, the opportunities are going to pass you by. You're going to miss out. And so are the people that God sends you to help.
I'm pretty sure that guy had a little bit to do with me crossing the hall today. or I
Most
mean,
definitely.
Just the fact that we just went and had dinner and my cousin we passed a tattoo parlor and she said, "Oh, I want to do that." And then I pushed her through the door and it's like, yeah, let's go get a tattoo. And then they said it hurts. And I go, well, I'm not into that. It's like, I'll watch you because I'm really a coward.
And here you are.
I know, because that do the damn thing got me.
Yes.
I mean, I looked at that and it's like, that's where I am in my life. Just do the damn thing, man. You're running out of time.
Come on. And the thing is that we never know how much time we have. We think that there's always tomorrow. We think that, our time is guaranteed, that we're going to make it to 20, that we're going to make it to 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. And the truth is, like, everything can end in a split second. We don't have time. You don't have time to manage other people's insecurities. You don't have time to put your dreams on hold. Your dreams, as one of our coaches, Coach Dorica, says, your dreams are urgent. Kathleen was just talking about how God places knocks on our door, and he continues to call us forward.
Jody's not here.
Well, he's had to knock multiple times to get my attention, too, so don't worry.
How many times did I say, Jody's not here?
Uh-huh. You can hide around the corner. But the truth of the matter is that time is not guaranteed. Today is the day, not tomorrow, today. What can you do in your life right now? What we call boss moves. What boss move can you make today in your life that's going to move you either 1 step, 5 steps, 10 steps forward? I want you to think about as you begin. So for somebody who is afraid to tell their story, what would you say to them to take that step? We here at Do the Damn Thing says that fear hates movement. And so movement can be dancing, which I like to do. It's that Latin blood. Look at.
No, I actually spent my whole life thinking I actually had Latin blood.
I love it.
I got my doggone DNA tested.
Uh-huh.
A full-threaded Irishman, and I knew nothing about Irish cooking. It's like I can cook any Mexican dish on the planet.
Yes.
But
Listen,
it's
you're
like so unfair.
Mexican at heart. That's all right.
I know, absolutely.
Yep. Mexican at heart.
Ni si habla español, señor.
See, that's more than even I know.
I find that all the time. Because si habla español. Dude, I was born in LA.
Hey, wait a minute. I was born in LA. Wait a minute. So, Kathleen, as we wrap up this episode, if you were to go through and to give one piece of advice. Oh, look, I just realized I have this facing so you guys can see. Listen, behind the scenes. If you could give one piece of advice to being bolder and telling your story, what would you say?
Just get out there and tell your story. What's inside of you isn't going to do anybody any good if it just stays there. You need to tell that story because God gave it to you, not as something to keep to yourself, but as a gift to share with the world. Mm-hmm. So get out there and tell your story.
I love it. Jody.
Thank you, sir. This has been such a wonderful gift to meet you, and what a serendipitous thing. Mm-hmm. Wow.
And what would you say to somebody who is afraid to be bold and to show up?
If you don't show up for yourself, no one else is gonna. Mm-hmm. If you hide in the closet, nobody's gonna open your door.
Listen, she just dropped the whole mic right there.
No, I am a techie. You do not drop my mic. I will hurt you if you drop my mic.
As somebody in production, I so appreciate that.
Not too long ago, I did a performance, and it was like the best performance I've ever done in my whole life. And I took the mic and I put it out, and with all my heart and soul, I wanted to release it, and I couldn't. It was like my hand was glued to it. And it's like, oh my gosh, I have that one drop the mic moment, and I can't do it. But that maybe is God's rule.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Have a mic to tell the next story.
That's right. That's right. And let me just tell you, I want to introduce, come on up here, Kimmy. So Kimmy is behind, Kimmy is also the other cousin who's not getting the tattoo. I don't know if Kimmy has tattoos yet, but I want to go through it. And come on in a little bit closer.
Closer.
I took a shower this morning. Yes. Tell me, you've been listening and you've been in here. What is the one thing that you still want to do in your life?
Oh, everything.
Give me one.
Hot air balloon over Thumb Butte. It's not done, but I'd like to do it. Wouldn't it be fun?
Yeah.
That's
I'm kind of scared of heights. I'd do it with you, kid.
I know you would, baby.
And if you were going to dream and dream wildly, who would Kimmy be?
Kimmy would be healthy and happy, living her life. But God has different plans for me right now.
Okay.
You know, I'm going through some cancer things. I'm not sure it's going to kill me. I don't think it's going to. But I want to do everything, so I'm not ready. Simple as that. I don't care. They can give me how many years they want to. It doesn't matter to me.
I have not seen an expiration stamp anywhere on your body.
No. And I do whatever I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they tell me I can't ride a 4-wheeler. Well, guess what? I can.
Hold up.
You know, tell me I can't do this. Well, yeah, let me do it. You know, if you tell me I can't have something or can't do something, I want to do it twice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 3 times if I'm not sure.
That's right. Listen, no, that would go somewhere else. Never mind. I gotta be on my best behavior.
Don't drop the mic.
Right. So listen, I want to say thank you both. Thank you for being nosy and for popping in. I'm nosy all the time. Trust me. I have what I call my squirrel moments. Because I'm like, what is over there? And I'm the one that if you tell me to go left, I'm going to be like, why? What's right?
Yeah, what do I need?
Or if that door's closed, I want to know what is behind that.
Yes.
Me too. Terrible bad. What is that?
I can't wait to tell you guys the story about the safe. That's all I'm going to say. The safe will be in another episode. I don't know what's in the safe, but I'm going to find out.
You betcha.
And I'll tell you more about that another time. But I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Kathleen.
So much. Very welcome.
Thank you guys for being a part of this. Thank you for allowing us to just pop in and do this random conversation. And for you, the listener that are at home or watching this on the video, I want to challenge you. Go out and make some boss moves. Tell your story. You should be telling your story to somebody a minimum of 3 times a day.
Do the damn thing.
Do the damn thing. Listen, she just said it right there. Just go out and do the damn thing. So on behalf of all of us, thank you guys so much. Continue to listen and go out. And as Jody just said, say it one more time as we go out.
Do the damn thing.
I hope that episode was amazing for you and you are closer to building the damn thing. I can't wait to hear what your thoughts were, what part you loved, and the action that you're going to go take. Because the truth of the matter is that the person who wins is not the person who gets there first. It's the person who takes action first. Now, I've got a gift for you, and it is at www.stracthustle.com. It is imperative that you run there and you see all types of goodies, starting with the 7 must-haves that you gotta put when telling your story. There is so much deliciousness awaiting for you. I would love nothing more than for you to go ahead and give us a thumbs up and a 5-star review on not just this episode, but this entire series of How Do You Build the Damn Thing. Like always, if there's anything that we can do to make your week, day, or month better, please let us know. And more importantly, I can't wait to see you live. Whether it's at Do the Damn Thing Live or in one of our communities, or maybe you're just hanging out with us on social media. What I know to be true is that I am meant to connect with you somewhere, and I can't wait for that day to happen. And more importantly, I can't wait to see what you build.